Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, today we're opening up a source file that really exposes something quite surprising. A hidden danger lurking where you'd least expect it.
Right, in things designed to clean, specifically carpet cleaning solutions.
Exactly. And we're not just talking about, strong soaps. Our sources today point to chemicals so intense, they actually call them liquid glass in the industry.
Liquid glass, and is being sprayed inside homes.
Yeah. So our mission for this deep dive, it's really powered by looking at manufacturer data, the research, focusing on those pre-sprays many professional cleaners use.
We want to get past the nice labels and see what the manufacturers themselves warn about. What are these things? What happens when you, aerosolize them indoors? And the big question, maybe, why are they still used if the science points to danger? Okay, let's unpack this whole liquid glass thing in carpet cleaners.
Yeah.
Let's do that. For you listening, our goal is to give you a clear picture, quickly, so you can understand these aren't just generic cleaners. They're specific chemicals, sometimes with pretty heavy industrial uses, and, well, specific health risks,
Risks that are often hidden, right?
often hidden.
Mm.
We're digging into the safety data sheets, the SDS, to decode this danger that most people probably think is just, I don't know, steam or harmless water vapor.
Okay, let's start with what these chemicals actually are, because the names alone, they should raise some flags. Our source highlights two main silicates in these high pH pre-sprays.
Sodium silicate
Yeah?
and sodium metasilicate.
Right.
And here's that analogy that it really stops you. Liquid glass.
Yeah.
It does make you pause.
What does that even mean in this context? We're not talking about something gentle. The sources are clear. These are basically the same chemicals used for really heavy-duty stuff.
Like what, specifically? Think ceramics, certain industrial adhesives, and maybe the most jarring one, concrete sealers. Wow, concrete sealers. Okay, that's not something you want sprayed on your living room rug.
Definitely not. It sounds like something for, I don't know, degreasing an engine block, maybe. Not delicate fibers.
Exactly. That name, liquid glass, it's kind of a warning itself. It hints at how rigid, how alkaline these compounds are. They clean through corrosion, essentially, not enzymes.
But you said the real danger isn't just the liquid itself.
No, the real danger kicks in when it's used.
Mm.
When cleaners dilute it, mix it, agitate it, or especially when they spray it. That's when these silicate compounds become, well, volatile.
Meaning they turn into...
They turn into a fine, invisible aerosol, a mist that just hangs in the air.
And I think it's easy for us to just brush off mist or aerosol. We think, oh, it's like water vapor. But if it's sodium metasilicate mist, what happens when you breathe that in? Why is it different from, say, a gentle cleaner?
It really comes down to particle size
Mm-hmm.
and the chemical nature. Larger droplets, your body has ways to trap them, nose, throat, mucus, defenses.
Okay.
But these aerosols, they're microscopic, they bypass those filters. They're essentially tiny, highly alkaline bullets of this liquid glass getting deep into your lower airway.
Deep down. Okay.
And that's the significant risk, both for the cleaner using it day in, day out, and potentially for you, the customer, just breathing the air in your home after a cleaning.
Right. To really grasp how serious this is, we need to look at the official warnings, the safety data sheets, the SDS. These come from the manufacturers themselves. It's required by law.
This isn't a hype. This is the baseline warning.
So what does the SDS actually say about touching sodium metasilicate?
Well, for direct contact, the risks are pretty stark. The sources cite warnings like causes severe skin burns and serious eye damage. Very caustic stuff. Severe burns.
But the bigger worry, the one that should really make homeowners think twice, is about breathing it in.
Inhalation.
Yeah. The SDS warns it may cause respiratory irritation. And inhaling the dust or mist can cause lung injury or even delayed pulmonary edema.
Pulmonary edema. That's fluid in the lungs, right? Swelling.
Exactly. Fluid buildup, serious swelling in the lungs. And it can be delayed, meaning it might not happen immediately after exposure.
What's fascinating here, or maybe disturbing, is the gap between what it's designed for and how it's being used.
Absolutely. You've got a chemical warned to cause severe burns and fluid in the lungs, maybe intended for concrete or metal, and it's being sprayed indoors where people live and breathe, atomized.
And you mentioned recirculation earlier. That sounds important. It is, because the impact multiplies indoors. One brief exposure is one thing. But when a cleaner sprays these silicate products, those tiny aerosol particles don't just vanish.
They hang around.
They hang around, and they're so small they can easily get sucked into the home's HVAC system. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Ah, so it spreads.
It can spread. That corrosive mist might not just stay in the room being cleaned. It could circulate through the whole house.
Mm-hmm.
Bedrooms, offices, potentially exposing everyone long after the cleaning crew is gone.
That's genuinely unsettling. Thinking about the workers' daily exposure, but also kids, pets, older folks at home.
Vulnerable populations, definitely.
Which brings us to this aha moment, moving from immediate warnings to documented, long-term, permanent damage. Here's where it gets really interesting. We shift from risk to actual medical cases.
Real-world consequences.
Yeah. Our sources talk about a documented case, a worker exposed to detergent powder that contains sodium metasilicate. And after breathing it in, they developed RADIS.
Reactive airways dysfunction syndrome.
ORAID. And let's be clear, this isn't just a temporary cough or allergy. ORAIDS is defined as a chronic asthma-like illness. It sticks around. And the severity of that case is really the key takeaway here. The source emphasizes it was chronic, permanent lung illness from inhaling that silicate powder. And get this, the source notes that even one exposure caused lasting lung damage. One exposure, permanent damage, from something used in cleaning products.
It fundamentally changes how you have to look at the risk, doesn't it? Especially when these products are marketed for and used routinely in homes. It really does. It forces a critical question, one for you listening. If one significant exposure to the powder can permanently damage an adult worker's lungs, what's the cumulative effect?
Exactly. What about the repeated low-level exposure in homes? Think about kids playing on the carpet, smaller lungs, or older adults, or pets, always close to the floor.
Their exposure is constant. Even if the spray is diluted, using it year after year means chronic exposure to a known corrosive aerosol. Are we trading temporary cleanliness for long-term respiratory health? It seems like a possibility.
Okay, so if the risks are this clear, severe burns, potential lung damage, documented permanent illness like ARDS, warnings from the manufacturers themselves, the obvious question pops up again. Why? Why is this liquid class still ending up in sprayers used in our homes? What possible benefit outweighs these risks?
The sources give a pretty blunt answer, actually, and it's all about money.
Be economic.
Yeah, it's a cheap way to raise pH. Simple as that. Cleaners need high alkalinity, a high pH, to cut through tough, greasy soils and carpets effectively.
Alkalinity breaks down oils and grime, and silicates deliver that high pH very, very cheaply compared to newer, safer alternatives. But the sources stress again, this is a chemical misuse. These are meant for tough stuff, remember? Engines, metal, not delicate carpet fibers, whether they're natural or synthetic.
So it's a cost shortcut? It seems to be. A shortcut driven purely by cost. And that shortcut causes a whole lot of collateral damage, frankly, which just further proves they're not really suitable for carpet cleaning, even setting aside the health risks for a moment.
Collateral damage? Like what?
Well, that high corrosive pH doesn't just potentially harm lungs. It damages the carpet itself.
Yeah.
Think about stain protectors, those coatings applied to new carpets.
Yeah, Scotchgard or similar things.
Right. Silicates, because they're so alkaline, can actually strip those protectors right off. Shortens the carpet's life, makes it stain easier later.
Wait, so the cleaning product is removing the carpet's protection?
In many cases, yes. It also known to damage natural fibers like wool. Can cause discoloration, make them brittle.
That seems completely counterproductive, a massive failure of the product's purpose.
It really is. And the damage doesn't stop there. The cleaning equipment takes a beating too. Silicates are corrosive. They damage internal parts, especially rubber seals and O-rings in the pumps and sprayers.
So the cleaner saves a bit on the chemical but spends more fixing their gear? Potentially, yes. False economy. And here's the kicker for you, the homeowner. Silicates are notorious for leaving behind a sticky, sort of crystalline residue. It's really hard to rinse out completely.
Is that why sometimes carpets seem to get dirty faster after they've been cleaned?
That's often exactly why. That sticky silicate residue acts like a dirt magnet. Soil, dust, grime just clings to it. So the carpet looks dingy again much sooner than if a non-silicate cleaner was used.
So the cheap pH isn't even really cheaper in the long run. Damage to the carpet, damage to equipment, faster resoiling.
Exactly. It negates any initial cost saving. It really looks like an outdated approach.
The sources definitely argue that. They make it clear this isn't necessary anymore. The alternative view is that modern chemistry cleans even better without all this harm.
There are newer formulations, safer builders that achieve high pH without being corrosive aerosols, without stripping protectors, and they rinse clean.
So the continued use of silicates is, what? Just inertia, cost-cutting over safety. It seems like an industry lag. A cost-cutting choice that sacrifices health, safety, and even the quality of the clean and the lifespan of the carpet. It's a choice. Definitely not a necessity based on cleaning performance anymore.
Okay, let's try to synthesize this. What does this all mean for you, the listener? I think the ultimate lesson tying all these sources together is pretty simple. Cleaning shouldn't cost your health. And honestly, it shouldn't ruin your carpet either. We've learned that something nicknamed liquid glass, used for sealing concrete, can end up as an invisible, lung-damaging mist in your home.
Driven purely by being the cheapest way to boost pH. So awareness is absolutely key. Knowing what's being sprayed, what you and your family might be breathing.
Taking those manufacturer warnings, the SDS sheets, the product labels seriously, whether you're hiring a pro or buying DIY stuff, definitely. Look for those names. Sodium silicate, sodium metasilicate. Ask questions. Absolutely. So the next time you do hire a cleaner, or maybe you're browsing the aisle for a powerful pre-spray, you need to think about the chemistry involved. You do. Ask yourself, how confident are you about where that cleaning power, that pH, is coming from? And how would you verify it? How do you know the product is backed by modern science and safety, not just, the lowest price tag for the manufacturer?
Knowing those two silicate names gives you the power to ask informed questions, to make sure getting a clean carpet doesn't potentially risk your long-term health.
Magic Wand Company, cleaning for health, backed by science.